Katsuki Bakugou X-Reader Chapter 2. The next day, after Bakugou had gained his quirk, the three had gone to school. The teachers and other students were fawning over him while he had this big, proud smile on his face. Wayan and Midoriya were trying to get to him to talk to him, but he just blew them off. At recess that day, the two were trying to play with Bakugou, but everyone was just crowding him, trying to see his new quirk. Katsuki, Wayan started after finally getting through the crowd. Do you want to play with Izuku and I? He just looked at her for a moment, then told her, Not now, Wayan. These people want to see the future #1 hero. Wayan then just stared for a moment, walking away sadly and past Midoriya, who was trying to get Bakugou's attention and sat on the swing. Why doesn't he want to play with me? She thought as she slowly swung back and forth. Maybe it's his quirk. Everyone likes him so much better because of it. If I ever get a quirk, I don't want to be like him. 10 years later, it was just another day at Aldera Junior High. The teacher was talking about futures. That was when Bakugou had jumped up on his desk, after the class had caused a ruckus with their quirks, all except Midoriya and Wayan. Midoriya didn't have a quirk, ever since he found out when he was 4, which was when Bakugou had gotten his quirk and Wayan had started to become distant. He discovered he would never get one. Wayan, on the other hand, did have a quirk, but hers was different from Bakugou's and the rest of the class's quirks. She didn't show it off to them. She was scared she'd be like Bakugou if she showed off her quirk, that she just didn't show it and practiced in secret. Deciding that she wanted to go to UA, but nobody else knew that. Oh yeah, Midoriya and Ellen, the teacher started. You want to go there too, right? Midoriya just sank into his seat as Bakugou froze, slowly turning to Midoriya in anger. Wayan just nodded silently. The class laughed at Midoriya at the ridiculous idea of a quirkless kid going to an elite hero school. You won't get in, Deku, Bakugou spat. You don't have a quirk, just like Wayan over there. He pointed to Wayan, who got red and mumbled quietly that she did have a quirk. Wait, what? Bakugou froze, looking over at Wayan. Since when did you have a quirk, Wayan? The teacher then told them to quiet down, continuing with the rest of the class day. After class, Wayan stayed behind as she saw Bakugou and his gang roughing up Midoriya, as Bakugou had Midoriya's 13th notebook in his hands. Katsuki, leave him alone. Wayan started as he blew up the notebook, promptly throwing it out the window. He just ignored her as she looked out the window, watching the notebook fall into the courtyard fountain. Here's a word of advice, nerd. Bakugou started while putting his hand on Midoriya's shoulder. Don't even think about applying or else. Leave, Wayan greeted through her teeth. That goes for you too, Wayan. Bakugou started while turning to her. Don't up. Wayan then looked up at him, her eyes beginning to turn a bright, glowing shade of blue. Get out. Bakugou stopped, seeing her eyes, and turned to his gang. Let's go. You know, if you want to be a hero, there might actually be another way. Bakugou started again, turning to Midoriya. Just pray that you'll be born with a quirk in your next life, and take a swan dive off the roof of the building. Midoriya then turned towards Bakugou, looking angry, but once he saw the small explosions, He stopped him his tracks. Wyan then held up her hand. It's starting to turn a shade of blue like her eyes. I said, "Get out, Katsuki." They then promptly leave, finally leaving Midoriya and Wyan alone. Leaving Midoriya and Wyan alone. I'm sorry if I'm bad at this. Are you okay? She asked, turning to Midoriya. Kinda. He started shrugging and looking at her now normal hand. I didn't know you had a quirk. Yeah, I don't really show it off. Wyan shrugged. I've always been scared that I'll turn out like Katsuki. When did you get it? He asked as they started walking to the courtyard to retrieve the notebook. Not long after Katsuki got his quirk. Well, it's cool that your quirk, he started, not realizing what it actually was. Wait, what is it? I call it energy. Wyan started, looking at the hand she used. Basically, I can manipulate energy from either my body or outdoor light. It's stronger in the daytime because of the sun, and once it's night, I'll usually use either the moonlight, if there is any, my own body's energy, or a combination of both. Whoa, that's so cool! Midoriya beamed, seeming to forget what had just happened. That was when they got to the fountain, seeing the fish nibbling on the notebook. Well, there goes my dreams into fish food. I'm sorry, Wyan said, rubbing the back of her neck. I don't know why he's like that. It's okay. I have a feeling, Midoriya responded. I'll see you around, Wyan. Yeah, see you, she said, turning the opposite direction from Midoriya. Wyan began walking towards the entrance gate, towards the convenience store so she could pick up a couple items for her family. She had passed one of the corners when suddenly someone had grabbed her arm, pulling her into the nearby corner. She yelped, a hand soon covering her mouth. Her eyes focused quickly as she soon saw that the person who grabbed her was just Bakugou. Why didn't you tell me you had a quirk? He asked in a hushed manner, taking his hand from her mouth as Wyan's back was to the wall. Because you don't seem to care about anyone other than yourself, Wyan reasoned in a snappish tone. He opened his mouth to respond, closing it quickly. She continued to tell him, the day after you got your quirks, you seemed like you're better than everyone else. I don't want to be that way. Well, glowing doesn't really get you anywhere, he shrugged, backing away a little bit. So you're an energy manipulator. Ugh. So you're an energy manipulator. How did you? I overheard you with Deku, he told her, putting his hands in his pockets. Why didn't you ever tell me, or even him? Wyan just stood there, silent. Bakugou then realized how much he missed having her around. Wyan, Katsuki, come on, man. Soon his two goons came running up to the two of them. Seeing Wyan there, why is she here? I just wanted to ask her something. Bakugou snapped at them, walking away with them soon after, leaving Wyan alone. That was the last moment Wyan had before using her quirk in front of others. Okay, this was the Katsuki Bakugou X Reader, Chapter 2 by Hina Rose, and this is actually very long. So this took me a while to record this, and it's kind of long also for the Chapter 3, and about this chapter, the author is from Hina Rose again, and this is not my fan fiction. I'm still working on my fan fiction, so yeah. I hope you like the video. I hope you understand how I say it, how I record myself. I hope it's not that bad. So thank you for watching and peace out. Yeah.